This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. Bittersweet End by J.E. Wolfe. Chapter 1. A wedding day is a day of many words. You start with greeting the guests. Many catch up with those they haven't seen in years. Then there is the main event, the exchanging of the vows. It is a constant lyrical battle of promises between two people. One after the other, you make these promises you are supposed to keep until one outlives the other. For better, for worse, Harlem Baldwin said. Harlem looked deeply into her bride's almond-shaped hazel eyes. They both stood at the altar hand in hand. The bride, Angela Smalls, wore her wedding dress that was tailored to fit every curve of her body. Her train started from the crown of her head and ended at the beginning of the aisle. Harlem wore a deep navy blue tux that still had a feminine flair to it. For richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, from this day forward until death do us part, Harlem finished with a smile. Until death do us part is the ending of a traditional wedding vow. Is that the last thing we want to say as we hold our partner's hands? On our wedding day, we end our vows with death. As if nothing will end us but death. It is funny how those are the last words for the beginning of a new life together. Harlem lifted Angela's veil from her face as she smiled widely at her beautiful bride. Angela was one of Harlem's wildest dreams. Harlem would have never thought that one day she would be marrying a woman like Angela. She had everything from the body to the brains. "I love you," Harlem whispered to Angela. "You may kiss your bride," the priest said. Angela moved in slowly. She was more worried about her lipstick. She knew how Harlem liked to kiss her. Her lips were painted a bright red, her favorite color. Harlem, on the other hand, didn't care. She took Angela's face and kissed her deeply. "You're going to mess up my makeup, baby," Angela said after they parted. Harlem looked Angela over and said, "You're still beautiful." She smiled. The priest smiled at the newly wedded couple, introducing Mrs. and Mrs. Baldwin. The room roared with clapping and cheering from the guests. Everyone was happy. Harlem hugged her brother, who was her best man. Angela went over her bridal party to fix her makeup. After hugs and congratulations, everyone posed for the photographer. Love is a crazy thing. At first, you know what you are doing, well, maybe. You think you know what you want. You want this person to be your everything, your mornings, your afternoons, and your nights. You want this person to be every breath you breathe in. At the same time, love can drive you insane. You think you know what you are doing. You think you're secure with your partner, but it takes a turn. Those vows soon get looked over when the worse becomes more present than the better, and when death doesn't do you part. In all, it is a piece of paper that separates your love and vows. Chapter 2. An all-black Jeep Wrangler drove through the dark streets of Atlanta. The streets were wet from the light rain that fell earlier that evening. Small waves from the puddles made crashing sounds against the truck's 30-inch tires. Behind the wheel was a woman named Harlem Baldwin. She stood 6 feet tall, and even so, her body fit perfectly with the lifted truck. Her skin was dark and rich like mocha. Her body was framed like an elite athlete, and her hair was dark just like her eyes and thick eyebrows. She was the dark chocolate goddess of anyone's dreams. She hummed to the beat the windshield wipers made as they wiped the rain away. Her long fingers tapped to the unique beat. The more she hummed, the more it became her favorite. The air was cool and fresh. It was that rewarding smell after a good night of rain showers. Harlem inhaled as deeply as she could. Her mouth soon
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.